Steve Parker back with episode number 4 of Henry Talk. Henry, did you think we would ever make it to episode number 4? Henry's with Unite Rocky Hill. Henry is Unite Rocky Hill. And Henry Vassell thinks that maybe it's time that we do change things around a little bit. So why don't we just start by saying the condition of the government here in town today? How do you feel about where we're at? You haven't been involved for a while now. What do you think of what we've got now and where the changes are?
Well, presently I'm on the town council.
Yeah.
So, I get to see a lot of the things that are happening, and it's frustrating, to say the least. Our town debt doubled from $26 million to $52 million. We have less reserves than ever before. And, we had a high school project, ran into thousands and thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. We don't know the exact numbers yet. It takes several years to true up the accounts and cost overruns. There's threatened 2 potential contractor lawsuits, maybe more on the project. And from somebody who's been in construction their whole life, it bothers me. It bothers me a lot because I wanted to have more input on the project. And I think if I could have had more input like I did at the beginning of the project, perhaps it would have turned out differently.
I'm sure it's got to kind of, you got to ride that line, be trying to stay true. But doesn't it seem these days that, I like the idea, I like Unite, but doesn't it seem like maybe it is time for a change? I mean, what do you see when you look at the Republicans and Democrats here in the town of Rocky Hill?
Visiting people from door to door and meeting them in the stores, the Democrats and Republicans, most of them aren't even really sure where they stand anymore. Yeah. The lines have crossed from, Democrats were here, Republicans were here many years ago, and now some Republicans are on this side, some Democrats are on this side. There's no telling. Where is the line? What are your values? So nobody really has an interest in the actual name, just where their values are. And where they are in life is what's important to them. If you're new parents with a child, education's important. If you're a senior and your kids have left the house, then senior activities are important. And if you're right in the middle and your kids are in the school system and you're trying to save for your retirement, then taxes are important. But those are really important to everyone, to be quite honest with you. So the state of Rocky Hill right now, it's not as good as when I was mayor. I presented a budget with a 0 tax increase, which everybody just thought was great. And I'd love the opportunity to try to do that again for everyone.
Yeah, I think that is one of the things we see. I know I live in Newington, and the taxes are killing me. Now, I think, is that because of the state situation or what's going on? Because, I don't know if I could take another increase.
Well, a few things that I did to save people tax dollars in Rocky Hill were pretty exciting, and they're still in place today. One is that I cross-trained staff. Prior to me becoming mayor, we had a report done, and it was actually quite obvious before the report, where departments were operating in silos. They were operating independently from each other without working together. So one of the things we did is the tax assessor, the tax collector, the town clerk, 3 departments that all work together, and they should work together. We cross-train the staff. So in busy season with dog licenses or tax payments or assessing people's taxes, staff could go from one department to another without hiring additional full-time employees. It worked out really, really well, and it's still in place today.
So if you were to look around town, and you've got 2 years, hopefully, maybe even more than that if things go, the way you'd like them to see with Unite Rocky Hill, what would you say, this is what I really want to change? Because there's a lot of things, as you said, need changing. What would be number 1 on your priority list if you do get elected? What have you got to tackle first?
First thing we got to do is we got to get taxes in check. The taxes have gone up almost 10% in 2 years, which is kind of frustrating to me, person who brought a 0 tax budget increase to the residents of Rocky Hill. So I think we need to get that back into check, and we need to work on it. We need to have open government, because everybody in Rocky Hill, everybody I talk to daily, has some great ideas, and they just feel like they're not being heard anymore. So we need to get those people back in. We need to listen to them, and that's one of the reasons we're doing Henry Talk, so the people can feel comfortable either calling in or phoning in, using their iPhones, use their computer, whatever, in the comfort of their own home to communicate with us and get their message across.
Well, couldn't say anything better than that. This is the reason why we're doing Henry Talk. And you'll see the previous episodes. You go back again and again and, freeze them if you want to and find out, exactly where he's coming from. Because maybe it is time to unite Rocky Hill. And are you tired of the way things are? You got to get up off your tail and you got to be there on Election Day. Henry, get a man. Thanks a lot. Unite Rocky Hill with Henry Vassell. I'm Steve Parker. Catch you next time on Henry Talk.
My name is Henry Vassell. I'm running for mayor of Rocky Hill, and I approved this message.